I am Sam Dutcher, admissions director and co-owner here at Emerge Treatment. And today with me, I have one of the brilliant therapists here at Emerge, Allison Mervin. Hello. Today, we are going to be asking Allison about what actually goes into the groups at Emerge, healing, why healing and community matters, and maybe a few fun facts about her too. Are you ready for this? Is the question.
Born ready, baby. Let's go.
Okay, well, let's kind of start with something kind of light. What grounds you after a long day of holding space for others?
After a long day of holding space, I really love getting out to the mountains. I'm a really big runner, so going out and just like clearing my head, moving my body, getting some fresh air, smelling some flowers, it really does the job.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite trail that you like to run?
Oh, that's such a hard. There's so many good trails.
Yeah.
I really like anything in Mill Creek.
Mill Creek's my favorite.
Yeah.
Mill Creek is beautiful. There's still probably a ton of snow up there, huh?
No, there's not too much.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go up, do a little hike.
You should.
We should. What is one thing that always lifts your mood?
Nature. Music. I also really love music, and so like going to concerts and listening to music with people I love is also just brings me so much joy and happiness.
Do you have a favorite band?
Oh boy,
I know. I like to ask the tough questions.
The String Cheese Incident.
I have never heard of them.
Yeah, they're like bluegrass. They play a lot, like a wide eclectic range of types of music, but mostly like bluegrass and rock.
I love that. The string cheese theory?
Incident.
The string cheese incident.
Yeah.
You heard of them here first. Okay, and what is one wellness trend you secretly love or hate?
Oh, I secretly hate the wellness trend of self-care looking like a bubble bath and a face mask. And I do think that can be a part of self-care, but I also feel like self-care sometimes looks like doing the hard things that you need to do to take care of yourself. And sometimes that looks like cleaning the bathroom or cooking yourself a really nice meal, even when you don't want to.
I actually love that advice because I do feel like people tend to think like self-care is just like the care part or like the treat at the end of the day. But you're right. I actually really like that. It is like cleaning the bathroom, cleaning up your pile of clothes that have been sitting on your bed forever.
Yeah.
I love that. Great advice. So you are one of the therapists who designed quite a few of the groups here at Emerge, and I would love to hear a little bit more about your why behind designing the groups.
When designing the groups, I really tried to take into account like different learning styles and different modalities that might speak to different people. Like every client comes to Emerge with like a unique story and a unique background. And so maybe someone like really benefits from DBT or CBT, and maybe someone else really benefits from like hearing stories or doing something that's more somatic based or doing something that's more experiential. So I try to just like have a lot of variety.
I love that. And I do feel like the groups we have here have a ton of variety. Like you said, I think they range so much from being like your traditional, like clinical modalities like CBT, DBT, but then I love that you tie in the depth psychology. I feel like that's definitely a client favorite here.
Yeah, I've been really pleasantly surprised at how many people have enjoyed that group.
Yeah.
Because it is really unique. And I think a lot of people don't recognize like the universality of their story.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I love that. What makes Emerge's approach different from other places you've seen or worked?
I think going back to the groups and stuff, I think that we take a really individualized approach.
Yeah.
And I think that we do such a good job of working with clients based on their strengths and not our strengths.
Ooh.
And I think that there's a lot of emphasis on like growing and learning in the direction that our clients need versus staying in like the pigeonhole or staying in what's comfortable for us as clinicians and as a program.
I love that you spoke to that because I do feel like the individualized approach is really unique because I feel like, it's good to have a specialty. I feel like, that's what makes us different is that our specialty is just being unique. being
Yeah.
individualized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's really cool that we have a nutrition program here too, as part of Emerge.
Yeah.
And I have gotten feedback from clients that like this is something that they've never had before, that they've never had such a holistic approach to their care. And I think that is a big reason why Emerge is so special.
Oh, I love to hear that. I do. I love our nutrition group too. I feel like that is one we will speak to in later interviews, but it is one that I think makes us fairly unique.
Yeah.
What do you wish more people knew about group therapy?
I think that people are often like afraid of group therapy because they're afraid of telling their story in front of a room full of people. But I think the thing that makes group therapy so special is that there's a big difference between having a therapist who can empathize with you and maybe imagine what it's like to be you, and another thing to have a client speak your truth to you as their own. And I can't tell you how many times in group we'll have someone share a challenge or a struggle that they're going through, and someone else in the group is like, oh my God, like I thought it was the only one.
Yep.
And it really makes people not feel so alone in their struggles.
Yeah, I love that. And I think it really kind of ties into the community piece for me. I think that is huge, building community and being able to feel not so isolated or alone.
Right. Yeah.
And I love that you kind of spoke on that with the groups, because I think that is probably one of the biggest, at least for me, like buy-ins is the group aspect.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, I love that. Is there a group topic or theme that feels especially close to your heart right now?
Oh, that's such a hard question. I really do love our depth psychology group. I really love fairy tales and just noticing like the universal patterns of the human experience. And I think it provides just like a really unique approach to therapy and understanding yourself. And so I really enjoy that group. It's been really fun to like pick the stories that we share and kind of dive in deep.
Do you have a favorite story? I know that's a hard question too.
I mean, I would say my favorite story is La Loba, the wolf woman.
Okay. What do you like about it?
I just love the symbolism of bones and this idea that we are just collecting lost parts of ourselves and bringing life back into them. Yeah,
that's so
it's a
beautiful.
really beautiful story.
Yeah, I think that is one of the ones that I read, because I remember making the worksheet with the bones on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really like that one. Quick fire round.
Okay.
What is your go-to snack between sessions?
It's embarrassing.
It's okay.
It's oatmeal.
That's not embarrassing. That's what I'm eating right now in the morning. Oatmeal's a good snack.
Just eat oatmeal every day.
Just oatmeal and dates.
Yeah, dates, raisins.
What's your comfort TV show?
Survivor.
Stop it. No, it's not. Do you know I love Survivor?
I love Survivor so much.
I love Survivor.
I'm obsessed
so
with
much.
it.
Okay, we'll talk more about Survivor.
Yeah, we sure will.
What is the song that you love right now?
Oh, that's such a hard question.
First one that popped into your head.
A song called Joyful Sound.
Is it by the String Cheese Incident?
It sure is.
Yes, I love when I get it right. What is one word that describes your work?
Intentional.
Ooh. She's a wise owl, this one. Okay. Thank you for joining my quick fire round. We just have a few more questions for the day.
Okay.
When you think of transformation in group therapy, what does that look like for you?
Oh, that's a hard question. I think it looks like when someone tells the same story or talks about the same thing over and over and over, and every time it's a little bit different. Every time it becomes a little bit less rigid and narrow. Ooh. And it's so interesting to hear the same story sort of like change and grow into something that's like more positive and less scary over time.
Oh, that does feel like healing. That absolutely feels like healing.
Yeah.
I love that. What is one lesson that your clients have taught you?
I think in my work as a therapist, I've learned that I don't think I've ever met a single person that is bad.
Ooh.
That there are like, they've taught me that there are no bad people and that everyone comes to therapy as a unique person. Everyone shows up in the world as one of a kind, and yet all of our stories are so much the same. All of the things that we go through are so much the same. And there's a lot of comfort in that we can be unique and also have so much in common.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of like compassion and empathy, or at least you've probably had to learn more of that than maybe you had before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. I love that. If someone is watching and is nervous about joining a group, what would you want to say to them?
That I recognize that it's scary. It's definitely terrifying to show up to a group of people and tell them things that you haven't told anyone in your entire life, but it is so healing to have other people just like hold space for you and make you feel safe. And that type of healing, you just can't get in individual therapy, honestly. It's impossible.
Yeah, well, it kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier about, when you're sitting in a group and another client is essentially speaking to your story as they're telling their own story.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of creates that beautiful, I don't know, like cohesiveness. Like, I'm not alone. I'm not isolated. Yes, my story is unique, but it's not necessarily, what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, it's like you're not alone.
Yeah, like you have the tools, or maybe this person has the tools that have helped them and they can help you too. In a way that, yes, a therapist can, but not in the same way.
Yeah. And there are things that like maybe come up in therapy that like I've experienced or someone else has experienced, but I can't necessarily speak to that because of my role as a therapist and as a professional in that setting. But having someone who's more on the peer level, who can like truly relate to you and actually talk about it, is so healing and powerful.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that.
Thank you. What are you most excited about for the future of Emerge?
I'm just excited to like grow as a company, and also to just like, I'm always so excited to like meet new clients and hear their stories and get to know them and like get to experience the beauty that they bring to the world. I don't know.
Yeah. I find it so interesting that like bringing in like one new client can completely change the cohort and just like can change like the theme of the cohort. It's really interesting.
It is really interesting, and that's so true.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, one last question for you. What led you to become a therapist?
Oh, that's a big question.
We're here for the big questions, everyone.
I studied anthropology and international studies for my undergrad. Wanted to be in the Peace Corps, so I went to the Peace Corps and I absolutely hated it.
I didn't know you were in the Peace Corps.
It's true.
How long?
Like 6 weeks. I was like, no.
That was my dream when I was younger. I wanted to go to the Peace Corps.
It's not that good.
Where were you in the Peace Corps?
Eswatini.
Okay. For 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Continue.
Anyway, so after I decided to leave the Peace Corps, I had no idea what I was doing with my life. So I decided to try and like help people in my own community, which led me to work in treatment. And in my time in treatment, I just noticed that there were things that other programs were doing that I didn't necessarily agree with, or I felt like were maybe more punitive or harsh than they needed to be. And I felt like there were a lot of deficits, specifically in like an individualized approach.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone was treated the same. And I saw how that wasn't always helpful. And so I wanted to become a therapist because I felt like I had something new to offer.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do that. And also I think working in this space is just like really beautiful to see people grow and change and become proud of themselves and to feel better about life.
Yeah, I would agree. I love that. Well, and I think honestly, you've done what you've set out to do. Like, I think from what I've seen, you do have a unique approach when you address every client. Like you definitely don't address every client the same. And I think that's really cool and really unique.
Oh, thanks, Sam.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. Well, Allison, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about yourself with us today and for just telling us a little bit about the groups. And if you're watching and wondering if Emerge could be for you, just reach out.
It's not scary, I promise. It's fun.
It might be a little scary, and that's okay too.
We laugh, we oh my gosh, we laugh, we cry,
We do.
we hold space, we share
Lots
our
of space.
hearts.
Yeah, we build
It's a
community.
good place.
Yeah.